In today's video, I'm gonna share with you 3 peppermint candy cane theme DIYs for your Christmas decorating. Keep watching. Hello, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I am so excited you guys are here today because in this video we continue our peppermint theme for Christmas. I show you how to decorate the Christmas tree right behind me on the last video. If you have not seen that, I'm gonna link it down below so you can check it out and catch up. But in this video, I'm gonna show you 3 peppermint or candy cane theme DIYs to inspire you to create something beautiful in your home this holiday season. So if you are interested, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing because you will not want to miss what's coming down the pipeline for this Christmas decorating season. Are you guys ready? Let's get started. For this project, I'm gonna show you what will be perhaps the easiest lantern you will ever put together for your Christmas decorating. And I'm gonna start by opening my lantern and dropping a few collections of ornaments towards the bottom. And I already put a little candle holder with a little bit of moss to cover the top of it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drop some red ornaments towards the bottom to cover the bottom of my lantern. So I'm gonna go ahead and close for now. I'm gonna make sure that this is really close. I'm gonna move some of these items over to this side. Okay, so what we're going to need is going to be so easy. We're gonna need a few ribbons. I'm gonna do a cute little bow. I'm gonna use a few picks, a wire, and also zip tie. Let's get started. So let's basically just make a bow. I'm gonna start by dovetailing my ribbon. Remember to always dovetail your ribbons. I'm never gonna get tired of telling you. Because if I come to your house and they're not dovetailed, most likely I will ask you for a pair of scissors so I can help you. I'm gonna be generous and help you. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do a cute little bow. So because it's going to be a simple bow, I'm going to try and make it as luscious as possible. So I'm gonna add maybe 4, let's do 5 of this particular ribbon. This is a 2.5 inch. The smaller the ribbon width, the more loops you have to do for it to become very lush and beautiful. The wider the ribbon is, the less loops you have to do for it to show. And you know what I was thinking the other day too is the taller the Christmas tree and the wider it is, the wider the ribbons you're going to need. So you want to make sure that you keep that in mind while you are out shopping for your Christmas tree. If you are this year, the wider and taller your Christmas tree, the wider that your ribbons have to be. All right, so I have a 5-loop bow with a 2.5. Then I'm going to go in with this 1.5 ribbon that came in the bolt backwards, by the way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do probably 2 loops, and I want to make sure that I do them on the top. So I want to make sure that I dovetail this ribbon first, and then you pinch and you twist, you go under, and because this one came backwards on the bolt, it's a little bit more difficult. You know what, I'm going to do a 3. I was going to do it 2. That is the beauty of doing this your own DIYs, because you can really change your mind as you go. Nobody's telling you what to do. You're telling yourself, letting your eye dictate what you're supposed to do. I can't believe I just did that with my scissors. All right, so I have this cute little bow. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab a wire. Sure, you know what? I'm gonna grab a longer wire for this because I'm gonna have to go all the way out and around. If you guys don't know where to get your wire, Shinoda Design Center has a good selection, or you can find it on Amazon.com. This is just florist wire. You can always buy spool wire. And when you do this, make sure that you give this a really tight, like this. And then you just fluff your bow and look how cute this is. Once it is tight, you're allowed to just pull on it and fluff at your will. And make sure that all of these tails just point on the right direction. And you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and dovetail this, because if I don't get to it right now, I know somebody's gonna tell me, Ramon, you did not dovetail. You know, I really don't like to dovetail these little ones because they're so tiny. I always get it wrong, as you guys can see. But I figured that these would look really pretty if I did take the time to dovetail these tiny little ribbons. All right, so now that all of my tails are dovetailed, I'm gonna put this to the side and I'm gonna do the swag. And for the swag, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 2 of these cedar picks and I'm gonna go ahead and put them upside down like this. There's a tag. And then I'm going to grab 2 of these sugary white ones and I'm gonna layer it, making sure that it staggers down a little bit so you can really see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab another one just like this. This is how easy it is. Then I'm gonna grab 2 of these little candy cane picks from Hobby Lobby, or as I like to call it, Hobby Lobster. And I'm gonna do it like this. Then I'm gonna grab my zip tie right here. And I am going to attach all of this together, making sure that you grab every single one of them so they don't come out flying out. And just pull really, really tight. Let me get my wire cutters over here. And we're going to cut that excess. So now that you have all of your picks, what you want to do is you want to introduce your bow right in the middle, dead center. And as you guys can see, you do not need a whole bunch of items to make it look beautiful. Just make sure that you tie this really tight. Oh, look, another tag. My goodness. I really thought that I prepped everything and I just keep on finding tags. But when you're making this many projects in one day, you know, you keep running back to your stash. All right, so this is what this is going to look. You want to go ahead and give it a fluff, making sure these cute little picks show. And I'm going to put this to the side right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my lantern and I'm gonna use this beautiful ornament and I'm gonna put it right in the center. And this is a good way to display any heirloom ornaments that you may have. You know, just make them a statement like this. I'm gonna make sure that this closes. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my swag and my bow and I'm gonna attach this to my lantern right here, making sure that it's really tight. Like this. I want to spin it around to me so I can see what's going on. Give it a little fluff. And just like this, you guys, you have a beautiful lantern decorated for the holidays. What do you think? Oh, you know what? I'm going to give you a tip. Just because it looks unfinished, and I do have a few leftover ribbon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this much ribbon, and as you can see right here in the back, I don't know where you're going to put your lantern, but if I'm going to put this in my entryway table and if somebody was to pick through it, they're going to see the wire on it. So what I want you to do is grab a little bit of your ribbon and go ahead and attach this right here. And what you need to do is make a cute little bow, or even just like this, and dovetail. And give it a few tails on the back, because it is all about the little details, you guys. If somebody was to see this unfinished like that, they're going to see the wire. And if you have already the leftover ribbon, might as well just go ahead and use your ribbon to cover all of those little details. And I will show you in a second what it looks like on the back. It looks like a tiny little bow. And now you can now see the mechanics on your lantern. What do you guys think? Wasn't this lantern super cute and very easy to replicate? I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm in love with it. All of the little details just really create that magical feel for Christmas that I really hope that you are here for. All right, well, that was idea number 1, or DIY number 1. But now we're gonna move on to the living room and I'm gonna show you how to decorate a beautiful mantle for your Christmas decorating. So now I'm gonna show you how I decorate the mantle matching this candy cane theme that I am obsessed with. I'm sure you guys have noticed about the DIYs that we have done, and then also my shirt that I'm wearing. But I want to mention that the very first thing that you have to do, if your garland is not fluffed, just go ahead and fluff your garland like we would fluff any wreath, any Christmas tree, or any swag, as well as your garlands. The second thing is that this is not a pre-lit garland, so I went ahead and started lights. And the way I start is like I start at the bottom of this side and I start at the bottom of this side, and that I start working my way up until I come here to the middle. So that way I know that this right here is going to be the middle. So to evenly distribute the lights, I'm gonna start right here, and now I'm gonna start working my way out into the garland, so that way I will have evenly distributed lights all throughout the garland. And also the other thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you loosely put them in the garland, so that way it's not such a hassle to take the lights off at the end of the season. I do recommend you take the lights off, because if the lights go out, then you can start from zero at the beginning of the season next year, and you can just always store your lights. And I will make a video at the end of this Christmas season to show you how I store all of my Christmas, including the lights and the ornaments and the ribbons. But as you can see, I'm doing a zigzag pattern. So I'm going all the way back, then I go all the way in, and then I go all the way back, and I go all the way in, kind of like this, zigzagging all of my lights. That way they are evenly distributed all throughout the garland. All right, so now that our lights are on the garland, what we're going to do is we're gonna start with the ribbons, and I'm gonna start with the red ribbon that I used on the swag and then also on the Christmas tree. And I am so obsessed with this particular ribbon because it looks like the slippers of Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz. So I'm just in love with them. I'm gonna start by dovetailing this ribbon, and I have all of my tools at the ready. Remember, I've told you before, to be an efficient decorator, you have to have all of your tools at the ready wherever it is that you're working, because that way you're not looking for them any way that you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a little bow like this, and I'm gonna do a 2-loop bow to start in the corner. And remember, you pinch and then you twist and you bring the designer part up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab a wire that I have right here. You know what, I'm gonna put these wires right here in my pocket because they are kind of getting lost. So whatever it takes for you to be more efficient, I really recommend you do. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this series. I'm having so much fun showing you all of the Christmas videos, and I cannot wait to show you what's to come. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna start right here on the corner. So basically I'm just gonna place this right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and give it one twist. And look, that bow stays right where it needs to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start going this way, and remember to make bigger loops like this, and then go all the way into your garland. So that way your ribbon just stands out like this. And then grab 2 bristles and just give them one twist. So that way you know that it's going to be super easy to take it apart. I'll show you. You do 1 loop, go all the way in, grab 2 bristles, then just twist like this. And your ribbon will stay right there. And I kind of want to cut right here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this ribbon right here, like that, and look how pretty of a dovetail that is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another loop over there to finish that side. So basically what I'm going to do is just do 1 loop. So grab your ribbon, do 1 loop like this, twist that ribbon, grab one of your wires that are on my pocket. And I really do recommend you guys to go ahead and pre-cut your wires and just have them ready, because that will make such a difference when you're out decorating, especially if you're decorating for clients. All right, so I'm gonna do is put this bow right here, right with the other ones. I'm gonna twist it into one of my bristles just with 1 twist, so it's not hard to take off. Then I'm gonna let this ribbon do its thing right here. I'm gonna go in, just twist 2 branches, and look how pretty that is. And now it looks like we have a bigger bow right here, when in reality it's 2 separate ones. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do the other side. So I'm gonna grab my ribbon. This one's already dovetailed, so what I'm going to do is just do 1 loop like this, do a 2 loop, and attach with my wire. You know what I need to look for like a belt with like a tool belt, some sort of a tool belt. All right, so now I'm going to put this one right here in the corner and go all the way in and just grab one of these bristles and attach it. Fluff your bow, make sure those loops are showing. And so now we're gonna start working down that way. So basically just do 1 loop. Remember, there is no wrongs, you guys. There's nothing There is nothing you can do wrong when you're doing your garlands and your Christmas trees. As long as you love it, then you've done a good job because, well, it is your home, so you have to make sure that you love it. It doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. I always tell you guys that, and I follow my own advice when it comes down to that because I really don't think that it has to be like absolutely perfect magazine worthy for it to be beautiful. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut my ribbon right here. And look how they meet right here in the middle. How pretty is that? So now with the leftover ribbon right here, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Now I'm going to show you another trick. So if you don't want to use the wires, what you need to do is just pinch right here, do your loop, twist, and using these branches right here, just go all the way in and attach. Okay, so I have done the loops already, so I'm gonna set one on this side, then I'm gonna set one on this side, and I'm gonna start right here. But with this particular loop, what I want to do is I wanna start right here on the middle, and I'm gonna grab one of these bristles and just give it a twist like I told you. Let this ribbon hang down, and so now I'm gonna go a little bit further up. I'm gonna make a loop, pinch right here, then make a bigger loop like I told you, and then you're gonna bring it up like this. And look how easy that is. And so now I'm gonna do yet another one, and remember to do bigger loops because we're going to add some bigger ornaments and bigger items. So we wanna make sure that those loops are not lost in translation. So I'm gonna let this hang right here. So now I'm gonna do the same with this guy right here. So I'm gonna grab about the same spot. I'm going to go down on my garland, and then I'm going to do one loop going up. Remember, bigger loops. It's all about making the statement right here. Then I'm gonna do yet another one right in here. I'm gonna let this ribbon hang out. So as you can see, it really is creating that peppermint story. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab the smaller ribbon, and with this particular smaller ribbon, I'm gonna put right here in the corner, and I'm gonna go all the way down like this, fluffing. And so now I'm gonna go down on this side, making bigger loops so they stand out. And with this one, I'm gonna make sure that I go all the way down like this, and I have space for yet another one over here, and just crossing those bristles. Look how pretty that is. And I'm just gonna let this ribbon hang down all the way down. So I'm gonna finish the other side. I'm gonna get some picks ready, and I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce two types of picks. Remember the phlox cedar and then also our bleached fern. I'm gonna put the bleached fern down first because I'm going to go ahead and introduce this cedar first. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna lay them here. So I'm gonna start right here in the corner. And remember, when we're making any type of floral arrangements, what happens on the left has to happen on the right here. So I like to immediately move over to the other side and just start working my way down to kind of match, and what goes up must come down. So now you put one going up, now we're gonna put another one going down, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. So basically just mirroring the sign. So now that we went down, I'm gonna come back up like that, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing right here. And you can just use one of your bristles, as you guys can see, and twist it into the branch. It'll keep it in place. So I'm gonna put one right here in the middle with all of these beautiful ribbons. And then of course we're gonna fluff in a second to where we'll make sure that some of these ribbons really come forward and show like this. And I'm gonna put one right here up on the top. That way it's all balanced. Remember, when it comes down to designing like this with floral picks, it's all about the balance. And as you guys can see, really give it some girth into the design. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring all of my ornaments and I'll place this and show you how. Okay, let's recap real quick. Number one, fluff your garland, light your garland. Number two, add your bigger statement ribbons by making bigger loops, and add up to 3 different colors of ribbons, patterns, and then also widths. Then after that, we're gonna add our flat cedar, which is going to really give it girth. And so now I have a whole type of ornaments right here that I'm going to add. to my garland. And remember, we're gonna start with the bigger ornaments, and I'm going to start right here in the corner and just go ahead and put that ornament and attach with your wire. They are pre-wired, I'll show you. I have taken the time to pre-wire all of my ornaments, so that way it's going to make my job a lot easier and a lot faster. I come from an industry where we used to go and decorate people's homes, and we literally do probably like about 4 homes a day. Some homes used to have about even 5 Christmas trees. One had 12 Christmas trees and 3 fireplaces. So we had to find ways to be faster at decorating, and that's just what I like to do. Especially if I'm getting paid by a customer, I don't like to take their time when I can just work super fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring another one right here. And remember, what happens on the left happens on the right. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring another red one up here on the top. Remember, when you're working with bigger ornaments like this, to make a statement, you wanna cluster them together, at least so they are close together, so it makes a better statement. As you guys can see, it really shows right here. I'm gonna do the exact same thing over on this side, but you have to go down on your bristle to make sure that that ornament looks like it's hanging from the garland, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab a small one of these, and I'm gonna, you know what, no, I'm gonna add a red one. And this one doesn't have a wire, so I lied. Let me make sure that I have one of my wires right here, and I'll show you how quick and easy it really is to do this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just basically put a wire through it. You bend it in half and you give it just one twist. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add this guy right here in the middle. And now what I want to do is I'm gonna add some of these little ornaments over here to the side. How pretty is this? I'm loving the way this is looking. Remember, what happens on the right, immediately you have to go to the left and make it happen there. And then I have this red ornament where I put my wires. And I'm going to go ahead and add them to the bottom of the garland, so the garland looks finished all throughout and all the way down. So basically over on this side, I'm gonna grab it, and see how if you close them together like this, they're gonna make more of an impact, and your clients are gonna just be in love with it, or your family, or whoever you're doing it for. I continue to say your clients because we're in the season right now, we're out decorating people's homes, and so I think of my clients all the time. All right, so I'm gonna do this right here. Perfect. How beautiful is this, you guys? So now I'm gonna get the little peppermint ready, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay, so I have 2 large peppermints and 4 little ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start with the large ones. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna just go ahead and put it right here on the corner, making sure that it really shows. And you can attach it by adding one of your wires, but because it has this long pick, all you have to do is make sure that it goes through the garland and it will stay right on place. It might be a tricky thing to do because now there's so many elements, but look, all you have to do is just make sure that it goes through the garland. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add 2 little ones right by them. I'm gonna add one right here, and then immediately move to the other side, and exactly where you put on the other one, you wanna make sure that you put that one. And then I have 2 more, so I'm gonna add one right here over to this side, and look how cute that is. I love it. So I'm gonna add this guy right here, making sure that it goes all the way down and through my garland so it's secure. There we go, perfect. Okay, so now I'm gonna bring the last few elements, and I'll be right back. Okay, to fill in, I'm gonna add a few of these picks wherever I see there is like space for them. Look at that, that really just adds something to the garland, and you basically just want to add them somewhere where they'll be visible. They'll help you fill in on your garland, and it just looks a little bit more finished. These were only $1.50 at Hobby Lobby, just so you know. They are super adorable and super affordable, which is to me the best combination there can be: adorable and affordable. Okay, so now the last thing I'll add is this poinsettias. So I'm gonna pick places like right here in between the ornaments to fill in. What happens on the left happens on the right. So I'm gonna add this one right here. And they can go in and out. You don't wanna face them all forward because then they look polka dotted. But as you guys can see, I put one facing forward, one facing up. I'm gonna add one here facing down. And then I'm gonna move over to the other side and look for a place where I can put one facing down, probably right here. And just want to make sure that those poinsettias are really open so they show. And then because we have a big cluster right here and a big cluster right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add it right here. And one more right on here. And just like that, you have a beautiful mantle garland. There's a few characters I want to add to this garland, so stay tuned. When I start planning my Christmas decorating, I like to think of the door first because that is the first chance you get to make a statement for when your guests, your friends and family come over, and let's cross our fingers that this year they will be able to come over. So that's why I wanted to show you this cute little swag to show you how easy and affordable it is to create a big statement at your front door. If you like it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and let's move on to the next DIY. All right, everyone, so we're gonna create a beautiful swag for your doorway because as I mentioned before, I like to make the big first statement at the door. And right now I'm gonna show you step by step on how you can create a beautiful first statement for your front door this Christmas season. So I'm gonna tell you the materials real quick, but I'm gonna keep mentioning as I go so that way you guys know where they are coming from. All of the ribbons we're gonna be using, the same ribbons that we used on the Christmas tree and that we're gonna be using on the mantle came from Shinoda, and actually I just basically used one bolt of each. We have the beautiful red one, we have the stripy one, and then we're gonna introduce this really beautiful candy cane ribbon right now. We're gonna use one ornament that looks like a peppermint candy. We're gonna use one red ornament. They're already pre-wired. If you guys know me, you know that I like to pre-wire my ornaments because it makes my job way faster. We're gonna use a few of the flocked white picks as well as some of the flocked cedar picks. I'm going to use 2 of the iridescent ornaments in the large. I might introduce a few of the smaller ones, not sure yet. And then also I'm gonna use a few picks that I will introduce in a second. So let me just get started real quick. The very first thing you need to do is fluff your wreath, your garland, your swag, your Christmas tree. Fluff is the very first thing you need to do. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab one of the bows that I made a 1-loop bow. Remember to have your wire already ready. And I'm gonna add it right here to the top. And I'm just gonna basically swirl it once to the left to one of my bristles. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do a big loop like this. And I'm gonna go all the way in right here. And then I'm gonna do it one more time, leaving just a few inches for a tail. And remember, we want those loops to be big like this because we want, we're gonna put bigger items on it, so we want to make sure that they show. So then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab the rest of this ribbon and I'm gonna drop it on the floor like I always do. Thumbs up for this video, you guys. Are you enjoying this holiday season? I'm having such a blast sharing with you guys all of these ideas, and I just hope that you are as well. So basically I just did a 1 loop, then you twist real quick. I'm gonna grab one of my wires. Always have all of your tools at the ready. That is the biggest secret I can give you when you are decorating. If you're out doing decorating for clients, if you're doing it for your store, if you're doing them to sell, have all of your tools at the ready, and that will help you be way faster than anyone else in the industry also. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do one more loop right here, and I'm doing 1 loop just because it's a smaller swag. In the Christmas tree and in a larger wreath, I would do 2 loops to create a bigger statement. But because this is a smaller swag, then I just want to go ahead and do 1 loop bows. Then I'm gonna grab right here and I'm going to tie it and creating this loop right here. Make sure that you see all your tails. And let me go ahead and dovetail this one because you guys have cut me before where I'm preaching about dovetailing your ribbons, and I'm the first one who does not have one that is dovetailed. So I'm gonna dovetail right there. See how you see all the points? That is looking so pretty. So now I'm gonna introduce this really beautiful ribbon. Let me move this in case that you cannot see what I'm doing. I'm gonna put all materials to my right. So I'm gonna introduce this other really beautiful material. I'm gonna drop it on the floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dovetail. A lot of people say ducktail. I said dovetail, but you can say whatever you want. There is no wrong or right. So because I'm gonna start right here on the top, I'm gonna do a 3-loop bow. So I'm gonna do 1, and look how easy it is. You basically just pinch, 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 fluff, twist, and then you will, once again, this is how you're gonna measure it. Your measuring guide, and then you twist right there, and see how we have 3 loops. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my wire, I'm gonna pull back all the way very tightly, then twist once or twice, and then we're going to introduce this right here on the top with the other bow. I'm just gonna make sure that I grab this bristle and I give it a little spin like that, and see we're creating kind of like a funky bow, making sure that all of these tails show. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do bigger loops once again, and I'm gonna go right in the middle, and see how that's filling in. I'm gonna do 1 right there, and then I'm gonna grab my ribbon and I'm gonna do 1 more right here. Basically just cross those bristles. You guys, if I can do this, so can you. Trust me when I tell you, this is the easiest thing you'll ever do for your Christmas decorating, and I really hope that you are giving it a try. I just want to give you the ideas, and that way you can make it your own and create your very own version of what you see. And if you do that, be sure to send me the picture on Instagram or tag me, because I would like to share with everybody else so they're seeing what you're able to do. So if you are replicating any of the looks this year, I recommend to tag me on Instagram so I can share with the world and they can see it, see your talents. So basically I did a 3-loop bow right here, and I have one right here. Remember, I did a 1 loop. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do a 2-loop bow, and we're gonna go on the other side, and that's gonna create some depth. So I'm gonna do 1, pinch, twist, fold, pinch, and twist. See how easy that was? Grab your wires that we already have pre-cut, and we're going to really tightly without letting go. 1, 2, and so now this one I'm going to introduce right here on this side. I'm gonna grab 1 bristle, give it 2 twist, fluff, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do a few loops to fill in on this side, and just very tightly. Look at that. 1 and 2. All right, I think that's good. That's gonna be good. If you feel like I feel right now, this loop is really small. So what I'm going to do, hang on 1 second, because this one will not want to attach. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull like that, create those loops. Look how pretty that is. And so this one I'm gonna leave short, because I already have a lot of tails on the bottom. How cute is that? All right, so I'm gonna let go of that ribbon. I might come back and put another one over on this side. But right now what I wanna do is I wanna introduce these little ones, these little ribbons that I have already pre-wired. I'm gonna use 2, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add 1 to this side, and look how that's going to be incorporated into the bow, into our funky bow. And so now we have 3 types of ribbons. We're gonna do 1 right here, and then we're going to do another one over here. How cute is this, you guys? I love the peppermint or the candy cane theme for Christmas. I just think it is classic. It is fun if you have any children, to really make it fun for them, colorful, very playful. All right, so I'm gonna do 1 more right there. I'm gonna do a loop, and I'm going to attach right here. And so that way we have our ribbons all throughout the swag. And I'm gonna leave this tail short. So I'm gonna cut, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do 1 more loop all the way to the bottom, because we're gonna add some elements, so that's kind of gonna hide some of it, like that. So cute. All right, so the next thing I want to add is going to be some of this flax cedar that I have. And this is going to be kind of like our flyaways, okay? So basically you want to give them some shape like this. I'm going to open up right here and I'm going to insert one right here. And just grabbing one of these branches from my swag is going to let it stay. I'm going to put one right here. This is what we did to our Christmas tree, which, by the way, if you have not seen the Christmas tree to match this theme, it was absolutely spectacular. It had some characters hanging off and grabbing a garland. It was just so much fun. If you have not seen, I'm gonna put on the iCard right now and then also in the description box below so you can check it out. But it was probably my favorite Christmas tree that I've ever done. And let me tell you, I've done some Christmas trees here on the channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach another one right here. And see, to where before you thought there was a lot of ribbon, now when you start adding these picks, it really starts hiding the ribbon and giving a dimension. So I'm gonna add one right here on the top. And just grabbing one bristle and just twisting, and it's gonna make that stay. And of course we're gonna go in the back later and then bring all of these ribbons back out. But first it kind of gets flat. All right, so I'm gonna add, you know, one over here. I'm gonna go all the way on the top. I'm gonna grab one of these bristles and just twist it around. Look how fun this was. Oh my gosh, love it. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring my first ornament, which is going to be this red one. And I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna look for a bristle. And the way I'm gonna attach with my wire is I'm gonna grab the bristle with my left hand and I'm gonna push this ornament as far in as I can, then I'm gonna twist it. That way it looks like it's growing from the swag. And I'm gonna show you one more time. I'm gonna add a white one next. Remember, what happens on the left happens on the right. So now I'm gonna go to the right and I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna touch with my left hand side. I'm gonna grab this bristle and then I'm gonna push in as far as I can this ornament and then I'm gonna twist. And so that way it's gonna stay right there. How fun is this? Oh, that is so cute. Right, so now I'm gonna do this peppermint one and I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna grab this bristle and I'm gonna, with my left, push all the way in and then give it a twist. And that ornament's gonna stay right there. There's no wind that is going to be strong enough to take this apart, I promise you. All right, so now we start fluffing all of our bows so they show a little bit more. Let me see, do I have space for another one? I don't have space for another big one, but I'm going to disappear for a second to grab a few of the smaller ones over on this side. That's where I have all of my ornaments. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab one of these large ones and I'm gonna go up here on the top, grab it with the left, put it where you want it, and then give it a twist. And look, even going up, it'll stay right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go over to this side. Let's see. I'm gonna put it all the way in the bottom. You might not see it right now, but we'll see it when I show you on the door. Like this. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna give this a flap. I'm gonna bring the rest of my elements and I'll be right back. Keep watching. Are you guys having fun decorating along with me? I'm having such a blast showing you all these ideas. However, I wanted to take a second to invite you to come and join me on my Instagram for daily Insta stories, behind the scenes, and all of the things you will not get to see here on YouTube. The link to my social media are linked down below in the description box below. All right, let's get back to the video. Okay, so I show you these particular pics when we decorate the tree, and this is something that I would go ahead and glue. So I would definitely just dip it into my glue and then grab the spot where you want it and stick it right in there, and that's gonna start filling in all of the spots that you might see that you need something, like right here. This just helps to look, and remember to go in a zigzag pattern. So I'm gonna use 5 of them. I'm gonna insert one right here because you wanna make sure that you have something every time your eye travels down. You wanna have something. Now also what you can do is give it a little curvature like this to create a hook, and then you go ahead and hook it in here like this. And I have a last one that I'm gonna put over on this side right here. Now this I'm gonna go back and glue because this is going to go out for sale. So I wanna make sure that this is wind resisting for anyone that is going to buy it. So now the thing that I'm going to add is going to be this really beautiful candy cane or peppermint popsicles. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna give it a little curvature like this to create the hook. And once again, you want to go ahead and dip this into your glue, and then you want to go ahead and add them as it goes down like this. And with these particular candy canes, you want to make sure that you have them kind of clustered together. So I'm going to add 2 right here. I'm going to add 1 right here, because it will show better if you have them clustered together than if you don't. So basically, I'm going to give this a little curvature like this. And I'm going to add this guy right here. Also, what you could do is just grab one of your bristles and give it a twist. But look how fun this is, you guys. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this one, but because this one's gonna go on the bottom, I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it going up, and it's gonna show all the way in the bottom, like this. This is so fun. All right, so the last element that I'm going to add is going to be our flyaway. And this is gonna be this sugared cedar. It's more like a fern. This is a fern. It is a beautiful, oh, you know what it is? It is a bleached fern. That's what it is, which also it's good because I can use it on wedding work. So I'm gonna start up here, and I'm gonna get one. Look at this. Oh my gosh. This sugary, frosty, beautiful pick. It's perhaps my favorite thing that I purchased this whole year because it gives it so much dimension. Oh my God, I'm in love with this. Okay, I'm gonna add this right here. Just making sure that you give that curvature that it needs to fly away. And I'm gonna add this one over on this side, like this. And I have one last one that I'm going to probably add over here by the popsicle. So that's all for this. I'm gonna put this in the door now before I give it a really good fluff, and I'll show you what it looks like. Keep watching. All right, everyone, so I just want to show you the end result of this beautiful peppermint swag or candy lane swag. I just love all of the color and texture on this. I did go ahead and add 3 poinsettias like the ones on the tree. As you guys can see, there's one right here, one over in the middle, and one on the top. And that just gives it that last finishing touch that you needed to really tie in with the Christmas tree. I cannot wait to read your comments, so give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment and let me know what do you think about this particular look. All right, you guys, well, that's all I have for today, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. I had such a blast sharing with you all of these peppermint candy cane themed Christmas DIYs to inspire you to create something beautiful. But you know, my favorite thing to do is to read your comments, so leave me a comment down below and let me know what do you think and which of the 3 DIYs was your favorite. I really don't have one because I am obsessed with this particular theme. If you have not seen the video for the tree, I'm gonna link it right here, or you can just watch more videos right now. Thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing. Until next time, bye.